Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast episode 637. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinside,
You're on mute.
Corey,
Oh,
and Tony Korkanakis.
hey.
Yeah, yeah.
You are here. I just know you were muted, so
Yeah.
welcome.
If you
listeners
guys
and
watched the
viewers.
video, you would have known.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
you audio listeners, pulled
Yeah.
one over you.
Missing out on content.
Yes. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to why is this not even loading up? To the Moviecast for 637. We are live streaming on Twitch Tuesday nights. We are live right now on Twitch. Please welcome, join us and enjoy the podcast live. If you miss us on this live broadcast, we are on YouTube for the following, forever. So subscribe to the channels so you know when we have the latest and greatest content. I just got my notification that we are streaming live on Twitch right now. So make sure you don't miss out. Anyways, folks, I gotta know, guys, what have we been up to this week? It's actually been a watchful week, I guess. Last of Us had a hell of an episode, I'd say. I like this. You know what it is? I've forgotten so much about the game until I go into the episodes, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh my god, this was like a big moment in the game.
Yeah.
And you forget it.
I feel like I can see a lot of the people who like, oh, I want something different from the game being upset with this episode, but I think it was amazing. So.
Yeah, I loved it. But I do understand, like, you kind of want something different, but it's
I'm down on it.
yeah. I mean, what was the?
I had a feeling. I was like, I don't think Tony was gonna like this one, just based off of your comments last week and the things that you want from this show so far.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. I just personally am down on it. Like, I think if you don't watch or you haven't played the game, you're gonna like it or love it. Or if you don't mind the adaptation, it's fine. But like, I don't know. There's just like these some minor and some major things that just get to me. Like, I think the pacing is totally off. Like, this should have been 2 episodes. The fact that we spent 2 episodes in the what was it with Henry and
Kathleen.
and Kathleen, like, that is so offensive to me. Actually, like, now that I can look at it in retrospect, because we're coming up on the finale, and the finale is the shortest episode, which is bizarre to me.
There's so much to do still.
Right. There's just so much to do, and the fact that, like, it just feels like Ellie taking care. And sorry, spoilers for up to the show at this point / game. I'm not going to spoil like the ending or anything like that, but like the fact that this all seemingly happened in like a day or two with Ellie, just like kind of weird to me. It's like, oh, like okay, yeah, it's whatever. But then again, it felt like Walking Dead in terms of like, yeah, it's just we're cannibals. Like, we're not even gonna hide the fact. It's just you could just tell from like the very first thing. It's like, oh yeah, they just clearly eat meat. And you even have like the one guy coming out with all this meat, dumps it in there. What's this? Like, pause, venison, and just like walks away. It's like, okay, I guess we gotta like really gotta spell it out in the show, just in case people, are weird. But the thing that offends me the most about this episode in particular was the character David, right? Because in the game, you spend some time with David as Ellie. And you fight off clickers, which is one thing that they totally skipped out on this episode, which I felt was important to have Ellie have rapport with another character that wasn't Joel, and be like, oh, maybe there isn't like other good people in this world and stuff like that. And then slowly, as you progress in that chapter, you're like, oh no, he's a total piece of shit. He's a scumbag. This and the other thing. Whereas like this, it was just like, oh, we're gonna have like a little conversation, and then the reveal happens, like, oh yeah, you killed, a buddy of ours and stuff like that. It's like, oh well, okay, the foot's dropped here and stuff like that. So one part that offends me is that, like, for a show that is based around like like zombies, but whatever they want to call them in the universe, there has been a severe lack of them ever since we did the 3-month jump, right? In terms of just like, do they even exist anymore? Like, it's just kind of like whatever. But the second thing is, like,
there's been a very lacking. This show is very lacking in the infected. Yeah, without a doubt.
And then the second thing, like, they made David out to be such a piece of shit, where like he just like backhands that little girl for interrupting him. I'm just like, okay, so you're gonna tell me a room full of grown ass people aren't gonna say shit for somebody like backhanding a little girl just for like asking a question? Like, that's just so bizarre to me. It feels really weird, like really poorly written, stuff like that. And then just the fact when at the end when you know you have the Ellie versus David fight and stuff like that, like the fucking the building is burning it's on fire, like you're injured yourself, and it's like you're gonna flat out like say like, I'm a child rapist, I'm gonna rape you in this burning building. It feels like it's too on the nose. Like I don't think you really need that. You know this is going to happen right now while this building is burning down. It's just like I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way there. I just didn't.
Yeah,
no, I can see all your points, Tony, and I disagree with every single one wholeheartedly.
That is fine.
And yeah. No, I mean that's what this is the you know that's people's preferences, and like I said,
So you think it was?
I don't
So
think
you
that
like?
Tony's gonna like this episode.
So you
but I
like
thought it
the
was
fact
fantastic.
that David was about to rape Ellie in like a building, like that
Do
was
I
burning
like
down?
the fact? No, I mean I don't like the fact. I think that it is the character. Like that's just the character. And
But
who
do you
he
think that is
and that's the
sensical? Do you
point.
think that's sensical?
No, I mean it says it's sensical to not put the fire out immediately when it starts burning the
Right.
building.
Well, that's what
down?
I'm saying. Like it's just so. It's just so.
He's not sensical
it
though.
just-
That's the
it-
whole thing. Is
it
he
just
is,
reminds-
he is insane. He is
I,
like
I don't
an
know
insane
about
guy.
that. I don't know about that. It just feels like Walking Dead to me. Like it's just like these characters act like.
No, I mean, I guess I understand where you're coming from. I think that this episode was really well. To your point, the opposite. I thought it was really well paced, and I thought that they did a great job of building the relationship between Joel and Ellie and showing what he meant to her and how what she meant to him.
That aspect,
it's
absolutely.
building- It's building what's about to happen.
and using another person who's going to try to take that role from the polar opposite of what Joel is essentially. Even though Joel is a piece of shit kind of guy too, like he's not a good person.
Yeah,
and
I
you
like
see
that we.
here.
I like
We
that
see
we
this
got
a
to
little
see
bit.
that.
Yeah.
Whereas like I believe him. Like whack. Like that was awesome. That's great. And I will say, what's her name? Did a fantastic job as Ellie. Like her
I mean, this
acting
was
great.
This is her
episode.
like tour
Absolutely.
de force episode. Like if she doesn't get nominated or get like recognized for this specific episode,
Yeah, this
I
was
would
good.
be completely shocked.
No, yeah,
'cause
absolutely.
She was amazing in this episode, and I think, like I said, the pacing for me, I liked it because here's my prediction for what's gonna happen. Like I don't know, like I know nothing obviously, because we don't know, but like I
Wait,
played
what? Wait,
part two.
hold on.
I played part one of these games. I think that they could do a whole season between part one and part two because that is like
Maybe.
10 years. There is like a big jump between part one and part two.
Is it 10
Maybe.
And
years?
there's a lot.
The
I
problem
don't
I
know
have
how
with
many
it
years
is,
it is.
I know it's a time jump.
It's
but-
it's a long time. I don't know. It feels like a long time, and there's parts that they do flashbacks to the parts between the two games, where you could just make that into a season and build on that, and have that
but why
tension
not-
between it. And so, like, I don't think the pacing's wrong. I think it's funny because everyone's like, "Oh, this thing's just going on forever." This thing just needs to die. But like here, we're like, "Oh, this is not enough. We need more. We want more. It's like going too fast." And so, like, where would you rather be? Would you rather have it again, the things like ending it sooner than you know wanting more, or do you want to just like
this
I
I feel,
already like
this I feel is just going too fast. Like in my mind, like now that we're close to the end, and I already know how it's going to end, and I'm fairly certain it's going to be a 1-to-1 adaptation all the way through. I wish they had split the first game in 2 seasons, and you could end season 1 towards where they did the 3-month gap here, because like what I wanted this for, and they did a great job in the first half of just showing us more Joel and Ellie interactions that weren't in the game. I love that because that's building up
I
on that
think you're
relationship.
getting a lot of those though. Like you're getting more of them than I would have expected for a 9-episode season, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, that's the
and
problem.
you're
we have.
getting
That's-
a lot
that's-
more background to like David
That's-
here. Like you got stuff that we have never seen from David, and so for me it was enough. I didn't need to
No, I
see
do
David fighting
disagree,
clickers, like because Last of Us is not a show about zombies. Like it's not a zombie show.
I know it's not
Neither
about
is
a show,
neither
as-
is
but like you're
neither is The Walking Dead. It's
We were the monsters all along.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what the
No,
shows are always
it's about Ellie and Joel, and it just so happens that they are in a post-apocalyptic universe where people turn into monsters. But like,
Yeah.
it's for me, I didn't like. That's where I don't need that because we have Walking Dead, we have all these zombie shows, and so like I don't need clickers left and right. And you have the game for that.
I don't
and
need
it's like,
clickers left or right, but like when they're not even in the episodes anymore. It's just it's just kind of like weird to
It's not
me.
even infected. I haven't seen infected in how many episodes?
And that's part of for me. Like that's fine. It's fine. Like I have not missed them at all so far.
I mean, look. I mean, Churro. Thanks for joining us, by the way. I made the statement about how you don't get any development, and I do agree, Churro. Like, I love this. I really like this episode a lot. But this furthers my point, and I think I've said this before. It seems too rushed to have it in one season. Like, I feel like they could take their time with this and have it in just 2 seasons. All I'm asking for. 2 seasons of the first part. I know that, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like there was so much more they could have done with this to again develop that character. Like,
I mean, I think you're saying that because it's been so good. Like, if this was a shitty show and it was just a 1-to-1, like everything,
I do.
like,
I want more.
no.
Yeah, I want more.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm insane.
But that's the thing is, like, when episode 3 is that's my favorite episode because that's original content that we didn't get, and Ellie and Joel Joel's barely in it. You know, and just in like a meeting them kind of thing. I was expecting and wanting more of that based off of that episode, and then I feel like the second half has just been like, we need to get through all this story and cutscenes, so we're gonna speedrun these things, guys. And it's kind of like, to me, and especially them doing the DLC, I just was like, this is really awkward pacing for me personally, but still a good show. It just I haven't been a fan of the second half as much as the first
I did
half.
enjoy this episode because it brought back that I forgot about the burning diner, essentially that whole sequence with this, and I was like, oh, I remember doing like hiding behind the booths and running around in circles essentially to try to take this guy out. I remember doing it in the game, and I was like, oh yeah. But then, like, all I'm thinking about is now I'm like, there's only 1 episode left, and they could have done. How about 10 episodes? Why did they 9? I mean,
Well, they combined the first 2.
The first 2 were 1 and 2.
Oh,
HBO told them like you can't end that first episode. You need to see Ellie.
Yeah, but like, I just feel like there could be a little bit like.
No,
this
I mean, it
past
could have been
episode
like a
was huge.
13 episode season or something.
13 would have been
Sure.
okay too. I would
But,
take 13. Absolutely.
But no, I did like that they added that David was like kind of cool with the cordyceps and like, yeah, like I like this, like their whole being. I thought that was neat, like little addition, because like nobody ever talks about it before. It's like, yeah, it's always bad, but he was like, oh, this is cool. So I mean, that just shows how like
What do you think of
far gone he is, and so like insane.
So what did you guys think of our surprise character James in this one?
Troy Baker.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was fun seeing him get slashed.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Mike's
so-
boy, so.
Mike's
Your
boy,
best friend Mike, he's in this episode.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, did you talk to him afterwards?
Yeah,
after
did you comment on his Facebook?
No, because he's not cruising the play, watch, listen comments right now because he's barely on it. He's too busy doing other stuff now.
Yeah.
He made it too big now.
Big time. Even
Yeah,
though
I mean-
his career is like sort of less active than it used to be. But
I mean, he's
whatever.
popping up in everything, but yeah. So
although I did hear his voice a couple times in Young Justice, which what I finished up.
But no, I mean overall, like I'm the last episode's coming up, and I don't want it to be the last episode either. Like I want more,
Well, that's
but I feel like
that's what I'm saying.
no, but I feel like that's what this is. I'd rather be in that situation.
No,
than be
yeah,
in the other
I
way.
could see where you're talking about that. I think they were doing such a great job. I wouldn't have minded them having extra content, extra episodes.
I mean, for me, like Boba Fett, about 2 episodes in, I'm done. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't need
only
more.
did 3.
Yeah,
Yeah. So going to Star Wars, what did you guys think? Did you anybody watch Mandalorian?
yeah.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was
I'm-
it was an inoffensive first episode, but
Yeah.
not like exciting or anything.
No, it
was
wasn't
just
like
inoffensive, I would say.
they never recaptured. I mean, there's only been 3 seasons, but they never recaptured that episode 1 of the first season surprise. But I did enjoy this one quite a bit.
It was nice
has
seeing
that nice
the character
feel.
again. Obviously, I
Back
like
in the swing of things, kind of feeling right.
I
Back
like
in the
it.
swing of.
I like
Pedro
the
Pascal of the year, right?
yeah. I did like what was it? The Terminator reference, kind of with the the IG unit just like clanking around on the floor, like going crazy and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was like whatever, just setting the pace and the story for the season, stuff like that. I don't know, when they get too deep into the Mandalore kind of stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, to me, just...
How many of us were fooled about maybe it being a flashback?
Oh, yeah, I absolutely thought that was
I
a
was.
flashback in the opening.
Yep.
Like, oh, this is
But,
now, really?
Yeah.
They're definitely leaning in now to make everything Star Wars more colorful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that because I kind of think
Well,
the
I think,
aesthetic of Star Wars has always been sort of grimy and almost dystopian. And I
I
understand
think
this is supposed to be after the Empire was defeated per se, but
yeah.
still, I don't know. I have to. It's an adjustment.
You talk about like the
I would
town
say.
or
Yeah, mostly the
view of
town.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
like it's just
but
a bright.
also even the opening thing with the Mandalorian like ceremony or whatever. They're very brightly
Oh,
colored.
I
They're
didn't.
all of their armor
I
and
I
rainbow colored
I did. Yeah.
soldiers pretty much
I
there.
wanted to comment on that too, because like watching it and because I mean I love Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff like that, but like seeing that in live action, I'm like, oh god, like this just looks like Power Rangers, kind of like we're just like, oh, we all have our brightly colored helmets. It's like I don't know if this works out that much. Like make it rusted or like faded a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're talking about though.
I'm surprised there's that many Mandalorians just chilling. I thought there was way less,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Um, yeah. I mean, like I said, pretty good kickoff episode for season 3. But you know,
It
we'll
leaned
see.
into the cute, more the cute than the serious. This one.
I like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
seeing what was the name, Boba Frack, whatever, the small engineer from.
Oh yeah. Yep. The little I can't remember his name, but I know what you mean the little gnome guys,
Yeah,
essentially,
yeah.
fixing upper guys.
Yeah.
So that was great, and the Grogu's interaction with them was funny.
Mhm.
And you know, it's Pedro Pascal all over
Yeah,
TV.
he's great.
So
I'm sure he wasn't actually on set for this at all, but yeah.
yeah, totally. Anything else, guys? I mean, Mike, anything else you watched?
I finished up my Young Justice season. I actually did. It was interesting enough to watch 3 20-something minute episodes in a row for me.
This is
The
just the
very end, I'm
season,
like,
not
all
the
right.
series.
Series?
I don't know.
Oh,
Is it
well,
over?
you're the
There's
one
no more
watching.
episodes. Are there no more episodes right now?
There's no more
Okay,
since
then
then.
we're done.
Oh,
It's over with.
you think
There's
so?
no way this company has money to bring that back anymore.
Well, they've cut a lot of corners. Things seem very cheap in this. But like I told you, there's whole sections where they have excuses for not animating any mouth movements whatsoever. And Troy Baker voices like 3 characters in the same episode once. So
Could be watching
Multi-
Clone Wars, but
Multi-talented.
so, but
Clone Wars is a better show. No
yeah,
doubt.
Nolan North is all in there too. It's like every video game from like 10 years ago. But anyway, it was okay at the very end, but overall it was the bad season. That's all I'll say about that. You don't need to go into it anymore.
Okay. All right. Corey, anything else?
Nothing really else of note.
Tony, anything for you?
yeah, I watched Creed 1 and 2 because they got put on
Nice.
HBO Max.
Nice.
Because the third one came out this weekend, which we'll tie that into. But I really like these movies. I don't know. Have you guys watched them?
Yeah. Yeah, I like one too.
Yeah.
I've not. I didn't see the second one. I love the first one was excellent. Corey recommended it, and I loved it. It was a really good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, I say this a couple times, but like it's kind of like the Cobra Kai thing, where like they resurrect a franchise after so long, and just like, oh god, like how's this going to turn out and stuff like that. But like, you know, it was really well reviewed. I know 1 or 2 you talked about it, so I was like, all right, the third one's coming out. I'll go see it. You know, watch it on HBO Max. And both of them are just so good. Like they do it in a way that it's like it has no right to be this good, honestly, because it's
like
you
Cobra
know
Kai.
right. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, Sylvester Stallone, like his character's Rocky's just old now. You know, he's retired obviously from boxing. He just runs a restaurant now and stuff like that. But then yeah, Apollo Creed's illegitimate bastard son comes and asks to be trained, and you know you have that relationship building and you know stuff like that. It's just really well done, and I love how it's like, you know, still a sequel to Rocky, but like it's not like he's like the central character or anything like that. You know,
And it's not
like,
named after him either.
right. It's not named after him, and
It's not Rocky Balboa from like 2006 where he's
It's
like
not
50
like Rocky,
something
the
and like
Creed legacy or
yeah,
something stupid.
but I like that because it lets him be a side character, and he gets used like just enough where it's like, okay, he's obviously still important and everything like that, but like, it's not based around him. It's Donnie's story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you know, it just,
And you got Killmonger and Valkyrie.
yeah, I just love like seeing. I was like, wait, like these are both, and you know, Ryan Coogler was involved, I think, in the first one, stuff like that. And the third one, which just came out, was Michael B.
Kang.
Johnson. He was directing it.
Right, Michael B. Jordan.
Or B. Jordan.
Yeah, like-
Why did I say Johnson? Sorry about that. Freudian slip there. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing the third one in theaters, probably.
Yeah,
but
it's unfortunate. There was like a contract dispute or something, so that's why Sylvester Stone wasn't in. Is
It was
not
a
in
not
the
a
third
contract
one.
dispute. It was
spoiler
an
alert!
ownership.
Oh, come on, man! I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
It's all over the news. It's like all over.
Have we reported on that?
It's an
If we didn't
ownership
report on it,
dispute.
it's not important enough.
No, we didn't. But there's
Spoilers,
there's
guys.
an ownership
Oh my
dispute
God.
between him and the studio, and so he is actually suing them to get his rights.
Because he
back
does
to
not
Rocky.
own the Rocky franchise. Yeah.
So he's not in this movie because he's actually he sold it in 1979, right? Was it 79 that came out?
Somewhere.
He sold it to them to make the movie, and so now now that it's gone crazy with Creed, they've really just kind of pushed him out, and he's suing them for this.
Wait. I guess I don't understand. So because he doesn't own the rights to Rocky anymore, what
But
happened?
it's a Rocky universe thing, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like the contract dispute thing. What I'm saying is that he's in a legal battle with the company, and so he's not in the movie because of legal reasons
legal
and stuff
reasons.
like that.
Yeah,
And
until that's
so
done.
they kind of unfortunately had to like
Right, but I'm
This,
sorry. What's the
yeah.
fight about? Like what? Like
he wants his
of the
character.
property.
He wants ownership of the characters again.
And not full ownership. I think he wants to have even like partnership in this universe again
He
because he
just
doesn't
wants,
really have
yeah,
that.
But
he
he
just
sold
wants a
it.
little more control.
Yeah, he
I
sold
know.
it.
I'm just saying this is.
His argument is obviously the franchise is as big as it is now, and back in 1979 he wrote it and started it, and he deserves to have some compensation for that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like the whole like the cyberpunk writer, Witcher author, you know, or
I mean, like,
Witcher,
I don't
sorry.
like.
I don't know why I
No,
said
but
sorry.
I get his argument. Like, obviously it's big.
Yeah,
We
I
want to
get
be
it.
back in on it.
I
And
get it, too.
Yeah, but it's
like,
like people
like,
sell ideas all the time. It's like, what are you gonna do? You go, this was my original thing. But I sold it, like, and now it's big. That's the thing. It's like you
What I
sold
don't
it.
understand
Like-
about that is all the way up until now, all the other movies, they've all been cool with each other.
Mhm.
Like, there's been
Yeah,
a
no,
lot
no.
of Rocky movies in the first two Creeds. They've been cool, so I don't know what
I'm
changed
not
Because
sure
here.
now
all the
they're-
details. I just know
because-
that it's a legal thing.
as far as
going
I'm
on.
aware, now they're making, like Corey said, like a universe here for Rocky, and it's like he wants to be.
Yeah,
you know.
because especially with the second one, it really feels like they're putting emphasis on some of the other boxers, which I thought was surprising. You know,
I think he sees
The
on the wall what they
kids.
want to do.
Yeah, the kids,
I think
because,
that's-
because like I especially, you know, the thing is like back in the day, I get it. This is like, oh, we're just gonna have Rocky and stuff like that. But like now, it's like with like, you know, everything's connected, MCU kind of stuff. It's like, let's build the Rocky cinematic universe and stuff like that. And so it's like,
essentially what they're trying to kind of put
RCU.
together.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, all right. So, anyways, Creed 3 opened this week. So,
First
yeah, I
little
mean,
segue there.
was
Yeah.
it 103?
I did this for the show, guys. Did this for the show.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I knew we could tie it in at any point we wanted to. So, yeah, box office. Let me, what was that? 103. I didn't get the final total yet. I'm trying to open it while I'm talking to you guys all right now. But I would love to see what this is. Give me the box
Yeah,
office.
no, I mean, seeing Jonathan Majors, he was fantastic as King. So like, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he portrays this villain here in this
So it was.
Creed movie.
So the box office this week was 58.3 million for him, right? And then it was 100 worldwide, or no?
I don't. I can get to see the box office, Jim. You're looking at it.
You're on.
I'm
it.
looking at what this is. 58.3. Yeah, Ant-Man did 12.8. So yeah, he did 58.3. He so it's Jonathan Majors, right? Yeah, Jonathan Majors. 200 million opening movies, back to back, essentially for the box office. Yeah,
Nice.
pulled it off. Was that what it is? 50 million? That can't be right. I gotta be looking at the wrong box
No,
office.
But like
Yeah,
Michael B.
it
Jordan, like
sounds
you said, this is his first directorial
Debut.
endeavor. So yeah, so it's pretty neat to see him
Plus, I
It did
think
kind
one-
of do that whole.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think this is the most successful Amazon MGM thing.
Oh
too.
really?
Yeah.
Okay,
So.
makes sense. I mean, it helps to have a known IP and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this. I mean, he's apparently really good in this movie. Jonathan Majors is excellent in this movie. So I mean, I want to check it out. I have to see 2 first, like Tony, like you did. But very good for it. I mean, good for him too. Back to back.
There's like a
number
little
one
bit of a
movies.
time jump. It looks like in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I might I might actually cause like the thing is, I was like, you know what? I might actually sign up for like the AMC pass or whatever in a couple of weeks, just because like there are some good movies coming out, because we're coming up near summer. I was
Guardians and
yeah, exactly. I was like, maybe I'll sign up for like a month or two
They
or
lock you
whatever.
in for they lock you in for 3 months, I think. You have
Oh,
to
do
keep
they?
it for 3. Yeah.
Mm.
'Cause I remember having to cancel it years ago. Unless they changed this. Before COVID, I signed up and I had to cancel it, but they said I had to pay for 3 months.
Gotcha. Well, maybe I'll just do it for the summer season. I mean, whatever, you know.
Yeah. It's
There's
yeah, it makes
Transformers
sense.
and what else is coming out this summer? Something good. Obviously,
I've
Guardians.
considered it myself.
I mean, I probably even
I've
see Shazam. That
Yeah, I
is
mean-
looking to be a bomb. Oh my! Like obviously, Ant-Man bomb, but Black Adam bomb. But Shazam 2 is like I think they're pitching like a 40 million opening weekend or something like that.
The thing is like
Ouch.
it's how good are these movies going to do at this point when you know this is the end?
I haven't even
so
seen
it's
any
like-
marketing for it, like anywhere.
They've been marketing it.
Have they?
I've seen a lot of
as hard as Black
No, I've
Adam.
seen a lot of-
Commercials here or there.
I've seen a lot of
but,
trailers. I've seen a lot of trailers, but that's about it. On TV, I've seen a lot of trailers. Yeah,
Really? Okay,
so-
I'm surprised.
I have. I'm trying to think of what channels that's been on, but I just I don't know. We'll see what that does. But yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good for that. All right. Let's see here. That's your box office. Ant-Man was number 2 at 12 million. 12.8. Cocaine Bear 11. Number 3 11.1 million. Demon Slayer 10.1 million.
Fuck that.
Jesus Revolution at 8.4.
I wanted to complain about that real quick.
Go ahead.
So, Corey and I saw the first movie, which was excellent. You know, we talked about it, and apparently, because I think it broke records, it set anime records. In
First
there.
movie we saw,
COVID.
post COVID, air quotes there.
So I guess they got greedy because they're like, oh shit, it's going to take a couple years to make another movie on that level. But we have the new season coming out. What can we do? So they took 2 old episodes of last season of the anime and the first episode of the next season, which debuts next month, and like put them together to like act as a movie. But like they didn't even edit out like the openings or endings or anything like that. So it's just literally you are watching 3 episodes in a row.
Wow.
And I'm just like,
Nice.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Greed. Absolute greed.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so
great.
that's what I heard. I have to get back into that show. I'm actually like I'm keep queuing up like it's time. I think I sat down and I just did the Dragon Ball Super run. I'd never finished that, so I should probably get into that. The problem is like I never remember where I am, so I kind of like, okay, well I'll start here, and I'm like, no, I've seen this and I've seen this, and I'm like, I don't even know, and I just stopped watching. So but I'll have to get back into that. But I'm kind of
Start
feeling
from the
some,
beginning. Watch. I mean, what's good show. Just
Yeah.
enjoy it.
so. All right, let's get into a little bit of news here, folks. We got some news, actually. We've got some interesting stuff. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem trailer was released yesterday. I would say
Interest
cautiously
levels,
optimistic.
drops.
I think, like, Mike,
there's good and bad things
I'm not,
for me.
I'm not disagreeing with your teenage comment. Like, they are teenagers, don't forget. So like they're kiddie voices. Like, I'm okay with this. We're not used to that, but it's kind of okay. But I love the art style. I think it looks really cool that way. And I don't mind the voice actors actually at all.
I was like, I found it jarring each time because we say they're like 15 or 16 or whatever and everything else, but they kind of always portray like
Yeah.
there might be 20. Like that's always. Maybe not so much in the Nickelodeon show, but still they're like, they seem like older teenagers in that. Here they seem like they're 12. Like their voices are very high, and it's a little jarring for me. But otherwise, I think they look cool.
13, they fit the name and convention.
I guess, but I maybe it's just me, but I would almost want to age them up a little.
You always want to
Now-
age things up.
I
Anytime
know,
somebody's young,
I
you're
don't-
like, I hate kids. I hate teenagers.
I'm gonna
Yeah, teenagers are gross.
let me just tie this together with.
Get ready, buddy. Get ready.
Get ready.
I just want to tie this together with actually what I forgot to mention. What else I watched and read. I watched the toys that made us the Turtles one. And before this, actually, I didn't even think this was coming out. I watched this on like Friday. And then I got into that. That drew me back into the Ninja Turtles world. Historically, Ninja Turtles are very wavy in terms of their popularity, and that's why they do these constant reboots because they get the wave and then it goes down again.
Oh, yeah.
It's historic how the Turtles' popularity goes crazy, but
Yeah.
it just
Cools
levels
off.
off and
Yeah.
they can't keep it going, and they reboot it. And at that point, they were making the toys that made us in like 2018. They were making that Nickelodeon show, where Nickelodeon had bought this for $60 million. But it was a cool episode. It got me into the Turtles again. I actually read not all of it. I've read The Last Ronin, the first
I heard that's
two episodes,
excellent. Yeah.
two issues of that. The first two issues were amazing. Very like more gritty, but excellent. Holy cow! Like really good. Animation's fantastic. Animation, the artwork is excellent. And I said animation, yes. Artwork is fantastic. Looks great, and I love the story so far. But the tying that into this trailer, then the trailer launched. I'm like, wow, I'm like a mega turtle fan right now. Like this is, I didn't even know this was coming when I was doing this, but it just timing just worked out, and they hit right for me. So I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Like I am pretty excited for this. Cautiously excited. That's what we'll say. Cautiously, not optimistic. Cautiously excited for this movie.
I do feel a little better than I did beforehand, just reading all the other info. I like the look of it generally. I don't necessarily like the look of some of the auxiliary characters, but the turtles themselves look. I didn't like Rocksteady's design or Dumpy April. I don't know what they're doing with that, but whatever. Or even Splinter looks a little weird, but whatever. But the turtles themselves are most important, and their design looked pretty good. It's just, man, they sound young.
They look fine.
Weird.
I don't know what the infatuation with Raph's mask to make it a over the head full on mask nowadays. That's been happening a lot.
I've sort of accepted that at this point.
It's happened a lot.
It's so frequent.
They've been making them much more unique.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Well, they said that was the
recently.
biggest. That was the biggest. That was the hardest thing when they were developing the cartoon. The original cartoon was making them.
That's why they fuck them up
unique.
all the time.
Yeah, making them unique was the hardest thing to do, and that's why as they further with Nickelodeon buying it, they're trying to further separate them. Listen, August 4th, right? Is it August 4th for this movie?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Like I'm gonna go see it, and maybe I'll have some pizza beforehand or something. So
Yeah, I think it looks pretty decent. I like the animation style because you can see it's obviously inspired by Into the Spider-Verse and stuff like that. The voice, the only thing that got to me where I thought was like, I don't know about that, was when Donatello gets stabbed by Raph's eye and he just starts screaming. I was like, oh, that's a little too high pitched, buddy. I think, but
they're portraying him more like 13-year-olds.
yeah, no, that's fine. But like,
No,
I just thought the screaming was
it's almost like they're so young, like them actually getting hurt feels disturbing. Like I don't know, like it's too much for me when you're getting to like 13 or 12. That's like kid, not like teenagers, just like young adults sort of. And now we're in like kid
you're like
level, but
you're a teenager for like 6 years, so it's a wide range. Lots of opportunities to get beat up.
I do feel weird calling Raphael rude but crude at age of 13.
Why?
Because he's a little young. He's still learning. So.
Oh, we don't know how old they really
I think
are.
Ellie's rude as shit in Last of Us.
Oh yeah,
She's
it's
what?
different. It's a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, she's got to.
He's
grow
a
up fast.
fucking mutant. He doesn't have any friends.
I mean, I'm just throwing this out there. I hope this tone is not too similar to The Last of Us.
I hope so too.
I had no idea where you're going with that. Holy cow!
Well, I mean, The Last Ronin is pretty dark from what I hear, because like, I guess the premise is Michelangelo's the only surviving turtle, and he like.
Yeah,
I think that's a spoiler, isn't it?
Is
I
it?
mean,
You're not supposed to know who it is for a long time.
Just the first issue, and they reveal right at the end of the first issue. Actually. Yeah, the first issue they revealed at the end, which I already had known that because I had leaked obviously.
Yeah, I know that too, and that also partially makes it more appealing for me. Although I never did a real deep dive into Turtles comics. As you can see behind me, I do a lot of the crossovers. You can't see that, whatever.
I think you enjoy this one quite a bit so far. Wow.
But yeah,
you would definitely enjoy this one. It's a lot grittier. It is a lot more adult. Michelangelo's out for revenge now that the secret's out of the bag here.
So that's interesting because I've always was a big fan of Michelangelo, and
that's the big thing is because like you take Michelangelo, who's like the most fun-loving, laid-back turtle, and then you make him like the revenge,
the serious one,
the serious like it's like oh shit, like I like that I don't know the premise, like just the
The
concept.
take
Just-
on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Very little Michelangelo in the first 2 issues.
Right, because that was
it's
Raphaelio.
it's
you'd be like,
Michelangelo.
okay,
Yeah, it's Michelangelo, but he's very much Raph style in the first 2 episodes here. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's a very weird mix, but
Yeah.
it works. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's been a good year for Turtles all around.
Yeah.
Video games,
And yeah,
comics,
and the video
movies.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go on to more news. Bad news, good news. I was excited when I saw the news today that John Bernthal will be returning in the Daredevil Born Again show as Punisher. So that's awesome news. I was super excited. Then Corey dashed my excitement by posting.
Well, it was in the
that,
same like
post.
report. The same report that John Bernthal was going.
Oh, really? I only read the headline is what happened, and so then I posted that, and then
I know.
you
I was like,
posted
oh wait, is this showing the other part of it? Oh.
Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Wall will not be returning, unfortunately, and that is just that's disappointing because, I mean, are you not going to have Karen Foggy? Are you going to recast them?
Well, I would think you would not have them. I think part of the reason why
you're
the problem
bringing back the other Netflix people.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is there's so many other hero characters that they are already bringing in as the side characters, I guess. There's really no room for them. Or
this is his show, though, Mike. This is
Maybe
his show.
Well, maybe there's
It's not
no
like
room.
we're gonna have a Daredevil appearance in She-Hulk. Yeah, I get why Karen's not there, but this is Daredevil's
I know,
show,
but
and like if he's gonna have a Matt Murdock part to this, like then have his Matt Murdock friends.
Yeah.
Well, if you have, if you're gonna have Jessica Jones and Punisher, like showing up on the sides, like that's a lot of other characters that need time.
I'm hoping it's just they couldn't either. It was a contract thing, or they just couldn't fit the story in. Like
that's what I'm hoping.
Writing.
So
season two. Hopefully season 2.
Then
right, and that's my
like,
hope is that it wasn't a writing.
Right
like I'm just hoping that the story that they're trying to tell just doesn't include them. Where instead
he might be, still out of Hell's Kitchen maybe, like he was with She-Hulk. Who knows? But the one thing that does give you pause a little bit is this was the one where they had like an outrageous amount of episodes slated, right? Like there's like
20, there's like a 26 or something, or 20, 23,
so that's,
somewhere in the over 20s.
So then, there should be enough room for side characters like that in that many episodes. But
I mean, like I said, if you're gonna bring back like Punisher with John Bernthal, if you're bringing him back, like bring back like there was.
Well, especially Karen. Karen definitely there because that was.
I mean, like the three of them were the main stars of that show.
Sure.
So it's like, if you're gonna have, it feels like something's missing without them. Although it is very exciting to have Punisher back, 'cause I think him being in MCU is really cool. I still
have to watch the second season of that since
it makes me more interested in watching.
Gave up on it.
Yeah, me too.
I gave up on it back then because I'm like, oh, this is going away, and
that's the same thing I did. So I'll probably watch it now. But I mean, I'm really excited just to hopefully like. Obviously, I love like the Daredevil and Punisher interaction, but like this is just more like, oh, we're gonna get Daredevil and Spider-Man interactions, hopefully, or maybe Spider-Man Punisher interactions because they all operate out of the same city.
They've all crossed paths.
It does. Sort of the direction. The one other thing that gives me a little pause about this though is if you have the heroes but not like the lawyer people. It kind of gives a Defenders vibe a little bit.
It does have that. I wonder if we're going to get much Matt Murdock at all for this, and maybe it will be more Defenders focused this season. Like Tony said, though, it could be something that just didn't have in the story.
We don't see a certain paper fist like.
I do think we get an Iron. I do think we get an Iron Fist in this. I do not think it's Finn Jones.
It better be Colleen then.
Yeah, I don't think it's Finn Jones. I think they're holding her back as a surprise. So that's my theory. But all right, I think that's good on the news. We've covered enough, guys. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. We appreciate it. Once again, we are live on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. Please join us. We have a game cast coming up after the movie cast, so stay tuned for that if you're joining us here. If you missed the live broadcast, we're on YouTube the following days. Hit the subscribe button to both channels and like, and also leave a comment. We like to chit-chat, so please do that. And we will see you soon. We're out.